Hey YouTube, Satoshi Matrix here yet again bringing you another video. A little while ago I posted my Generation NEX review, but for those of you who didn't watch that video because they don't have any interest in this Famiclone, in this installment of the Controller Chronicles I want to talk about one of the best things about this, and that is the Generation NEX wired controller. This thing is really quite fantastic. I have it hooked up to my NES top loader here, but as you can see, it is a standard 7-pin controller that works on any Nintendo. It works on the AB Famicom as well. So let's go over the controller itself. The controller is, as you can see, styled after the Super Nintendo pad. It has shoulder buttons, it has the 4 face buttons, it has the 2 middle buttons, and it has a D-pad. It looks a little thick, but it's actually very light in your hand and feels very good. When it's plugged into the system and when the system is turned on, you can see the Messiah logo lights up on it, which is a little nice touch. Turn that off. So going over the face buttons, you have the B and A buttons, the standard as it would be on a normal controller, but then you have the select and start buttons above them, as opposed to in the middle of the controller. This is because in the middle of the controller you have the turbo button and you have a slow button. And these are actually touch buttons, which are actually not buttons at all, but they're completely flat, and you touch the buttons to activate them. Now, the movement from the start and select buttons to above the B and A buttons is a little bit jarring at first, but in a lot of games it actually makes sense. If you're playing Metroid, for instance, pressing select switches from your missiles back to your beam gun, so that's nice to have that instantly there. And, the start button's instantly accessible as well. In the middle of the controller, you have your turbo and slow buttons. The turbo button works by you hold it down and then you press one of the buttons, and then you have a turbo shot of about approximately 8 times per second. It's not nearly as fast as, 16 times per second as in a lot of other controllers, such as the maximum settings on the NES Advantage or the NES 4-score, but it still was good for shooters. And the slow function is, just the same as turbo slow. It's 8 times per second turbo start, which is useful in, early spaceship shooters like Star Force, for instance. But yeah, up top you have your 2 shoulder buttons, and you're thinking to yourself, like, why are there shoulder buttons on an NES controller? There's only 2 face buttons, so why are there shoulder buttons? I don't really know. That's the sort of mystery on this controller. For whatever reason, they map the B button to this button and the A button to this button. So you have them here as well, but you have them up top. So when you're playing a game like here, I'll throw on my NES, throw on my TV for a sec. Here I have Mega Man 5 booted in there. Press start. Go to Napalm Man stage, for instance. Now you notice I'm going to press the shoulder button here. Also, the B button. See, it works as normal. Jumping and jumping. They both do the same thing. And then there's turbo. Let's turn that off. Turbo fire. As you can see, it blinks the Messiah logo when it does that. And then simply turn it off, hold it down, there we go. Might need to press the B button to do that, to turn it off. So yeah, this controller feels very nice in your hand. The D-pad, I should mention, is raised, but it feels very good. It's very responsive D-pad. It's not a bad one like on a lot of other clones. So this is the best part of the Generation NEX. But unfortunately, the Generation NEX never sold these controllers independent of the system. If you bought a Generation NEX, you've got one of these, and that's it. So, because of the price of the Generation NEX going these days, you're probably not going to be able to find one of these controllers on its own. But if you ever do, don't pass it up, because this is one of the best controllers for the NES. So that'll do it for now, so thanks for watching.